Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare
Nam
Ram Hare
Nam
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Nam
Hare Ram Ram
Nam
Ram
Nam
Hare
Nam
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Nam
Krishna Hare
Nam
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Bhagavati Vasudha Devidasi from Mangalore, India. Please forgive me for stopping your ecstatic chanting. Let us move on to the next part of the session. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name given by Vyasadeva and Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures and portions to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Gaur Vilas, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, Elgin.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaji. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for regularly joining Bhakti Sangha conference call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my pranam. My pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Bhakti Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elcon.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Is there anyone who would like to introduce in the call today? Okay, welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, really, we are fortunate to have Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 8.6.10 and 11. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction on Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Here is a brief introduction about today's speaker. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji on our call today. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. He earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010 and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. He also conducts congregational program in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. This was the brief introduction about Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for that brief introduction on Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji has not yet joined. Is there anyone who would like to introduce themselves? They have go ahead. Otherwise, we'll continue with our chanting.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri. This is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shyama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uttara Narayani from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna Uttara Narayani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all the devotees, always to Prabhupada, always to Gaur, always to Assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from the tribe.
Hare Krishna Mohan Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining. Prabhuji is here. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming on Bhakti Sangha conference call regularly and giving your valuable time and association. Today's topic is Srimad Bhagavatam 8.6.10.11. We are really eager to hear from you on this topic, Prabhuji. I hand over the call to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you now.
I think Prabhuji got disconnected.
Yes, Prabhuji is disconnected now. We cannot hear or we cannot see his name also in the list. Prabhuji is back.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We can't hear you speak yet. Is there an audio issue?
Yeah, we just heard 1 second and then we are lost with you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji is there, but Prabhuji has not unmuted or on the video yet. Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari.
Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Anita Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sanitharamya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, we can see you now.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. I can hear you something now. Very far. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhu, now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. There is some Shalakaya Chakshuro Nritam Yena Tasmai Shri Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnyavadi Pashatyade Shatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So thank you for the opportunity to serve. Sorry for the technical delay. We are discussing today from Srimad Bhagavatam 8 and to 6 chapter entitled The Demigods and the Demons Declare a Truce. We'll be discussing verse number 10 and 11. I'll recite 10th verse. Tvayagrasi, Tvayimadyasi, Tvayantasi, Dimadvidamatmatantre, Tamadiranto, Jagatosya Madhyam, Ghatasya Mritsneva Para Parasma. Translation. My dear Lord, you are always fully independent. This entire cosmic manifestation arises from you, rests upon you, and ends in you. Your Lordship is the beginning, sustenance, and end of everything. Like the earth, which is the cause of an earthen pot, which supports the pot, and to which the pot, when broken, finally returns. Verse number 11. O Supreme, you are independent in yourself. and do not take help from others. Through your own potency, you create this cosmic manifestation and enter into it. Those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, who are fully in knowledge of the authoritative Shastra, and who, through the practice of Bhakti Yoga, are cleansed of all material contaminations, can see with clear minds that although you exist within the transformations of the material qualities, your presence is untouched by these qualities. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Tyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagadvi Parivartate. This material nature working under my direction, O son of Kunti, is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. The material energy creates, maintains, and devastates the entire cosmic manifestation because of directions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enters this universe as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu, but is untouched by the material qualities. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord refers to Maya, the external energy, which creates this material world, as Mama Maya, my energy. Because this energy works under the full control of the Lord, these facts can be realized only by those who are well versed in Vedic knowledge and advanced in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. So this is another wonderful pastime which has started in this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. As we know, Parikshit Maharaj is so very eager to hear more and more about Krishna and his avatars. As he's hearing the various Manvantara described by Shukadeva Goswami, when it came to Chakshusha Manvantara, it is described by Shukadeva Goswami that the Lord appeared as Ajita, and in that form he supported the mountain which was used to churn the milk ocean. As Parikshit Maharaj heard about this Ajita and about this Samudra Manthan, he became very ecstatic. As a very, very wonderful, inquisitive devotee, he asked about this wonderful pastime of the Lord and how he protected Devatas, how he brought so many wonderful lessons out of this wonderful pastime. So in this part which we are discussing now, so all the Devatas along with Brahmaji, they are there in front of Shirodakshai Vishnu. Brahmaji offers his beautiful prayers to Shirodakshai Vishnu, and as a result of the prayers of Brahmaji, Lord has appeared in front of all the Devatas. And it is described when the Lord appeared, he was so effulgent that demigods are practically blinded. And then Brahmaji starts offering beautiful prayers. In these two verses which we are discussing today, Brahmaji is pointing out one of the qualities of the Lord, that he is the source of everything. He is a creator, he is maintainer, he is destroyer. He's like the example is given of a spider. Just like the spider, by its own energy, creates web, maintains it, and then swallows it also when the spider wants to destroy the web. So this spider is an example of an entity who is not dependent on anyone, completely independent. So Supreme Lord, he is not dependent on anyone for his maintenance, for his destruction, for his work of destruction, for his work of creation. He is all independent personality. And in these two verses, Brahmaji, he is describing how Lord is the source of everything. In the second canto, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described Dravya Kala Chakarmascha Subhava Jiva Evacha Vasudeva Paro Tasmat Nachanyo Artho Asti Tattvataha. all the elements of creation, they are actually created, they are actually coming from Lord Vasudev only. Dravya. Dravya means the material nature, Prakriti, which comes from the pores of Lord Karanodakshay Vishnu. Kala, Karma, Swabhava, Jiva, everything is energy of the Lord only. There are two types of doers. There are three types of doers. Supreme Lord is the doer, material nature is the doer, and the living entity is also a doer. Supreme Lord is the sanctioning authority. He sanctions because it is his nature, as Prabhupada writes in the purport, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Unless he sanctions, material nature doesn't do anything. All the ingredients is provided by the Lord. There is a technical term called as Upadana Karan and Nimitta Karan. Upadana Karan means the ingredient cause, and Nimitta Karan means the instrumental cause. So who is the ingredient cause? Who is the instrumental cause? Instrumental cause means the instruments which are used to create something. The example is given of a pot here. To make a pot, one requires mud, one requires the potter's wheel, one requires the stick to move that potter's wheel, and one requires the person. So the mud, of course, in today's times, very few people must have seen a potter's wheel and the pot and the potter making the potter's wheel, pot. That is a very common scene in the countryside of India. So the mud, it is called as ingredient cause. The potter's wheel and the stick which is used to move the potter's wheel, that is called as instrumental cause. And the person. So this verse, Brahmaji is saying you are everything. Lord provides the ingredients, Lord provides the instruments, and Lord only empowers everybody to do something. Everything is given by the Supreme Lord. Everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. And if you see the prayers of all the great devotees and all the devatas, this is a very, very common prayer. That Lord is supremely independent. He is a source of everything. He is creator, maintainer. So when such type of description is given, repeatedly this description comes. So why such description comes again and again in scriptures? What is the purpose of telling this? The purpose is to make one realize that we are not the controller. We are not the enjoyer. Because nothing belongs to us, how can we enjoy? It's like one person came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, he was an Indian businessman, he was talking to Srila Prabhupada and Prabhupada asked, so what do you do? He said, Swamiji, I am a businessman, I make glass. I have a glass factory. Prabhupada said, oh, how do you make glass? He said, I take silica from sand and make glass out of it. Prabhupada said, oh, that means you are thief, you are stealing from Krishna. So this person said, no, Swamiji, I am giving some donation also. Oh, you are a smaller thief. Hira chor or khira chor, both are chor only. Either you are stealing diamond or you are stealing cucumber. When we hear such descriptions again and again, we realize that we are not the doers. Supreme Lord is a doer. But the problem is, when living entity tries to take the position of controller, that's where the distress starts. That's where we get into problems. ignorance of this fact that Krishna is a supreme Lord, he is a supreme enjoyer, and we are supposed to serve him. That's the cause of distress in this world. In third canto, Maitreya Muni and Vidurji, they are discussing. And Vidurji asks a question. He asks a simple question. How can the pure soul be engaged in ignorance? The soul is pure. How can the soul be covered with ignorance? Especially when the Lord is seated in the heart of every living entity. Then why do living entities suffer? Because it is as if police commissioner is staying in the house and still there is theft in the house. How is this possible? And the Supreme Lord is there in the house, in the heart. Then why people suffer? What is the cause of this? Why we suffer in this world? This distress. So Maitreya Muni describes living entities, they are in distress because of the self-identity. They don't understand their actual identity. When they start thinking that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, that's when they suffer. Whether one is a materialist trying to enjoy in this world, or whether it is a sadhaka trying to develop relation with the Lord, or whether it is a pure devotee who is already in relation with the Lord, connected to the Lord. Everybody goes through distress in their lives. But the quality, the nature of the distress varies. A conditioned soul who is a materialist, they want to enjoy material things. They keep running for material sense gratification. They want to run away from material distress and they want to enjoy sense gratification. But the problem is, they want an ocean of happiness, but they get a drop of happiness. That is the situation of this world. Everybody is running after happiness, but they get a drop of happiness. Putra shisha shruti sukha vrigatrishni rupa vedam kalevaramashe sharujam viroha nirvidyate natujano yadapiti vidvan kamanalam madulavai shamayandurapai. Prahlad Maharaj is telling where is auspiciousness in this world? It is all Shruti Sukha. It looks good to hear all these things. When we see the advertisement of the world, the glamour of the world, we hear people enjoying, we also get excited. Oh, I'll also enjoy. But it is just Shruti Sukha. There is no actual happiness. It is like mirage in the desert. People experience unlimited pain, Kamanalam madulavai, and they get a drop of happiness. So that is the distress of living entity. People, when they suffer, they want to know, what did I do in my last life that I am suffering so much? This is a very common question people ask. At least in India, where people have the conception that, oh, it is all, the result of our past activities, karma. They ask this question, ऐसे मैंने कौन से कर्म किए? What actions did what actions I did in my past life? One time Srila Prabhupada was in Paris and he was giving a class. After the class, he asked, are there any questions? So a lady raised her hand and said, Swamiji, I have a question. What I was in my last life? Prabhupada just ignored her question. Took few other questions. Again, she raised her hand. Swamiji, can you please answer my question? What I was in my last life? Ignored her question. Third time she got up. She said, Swamiji, can you please tell me? Prabhupada said, this is not a relevant question. He said, it's not so important what you were in the last life. but what you will be in your next life. That's a question to be asked. And then this lady, she said, oh, so what I can be in my next life? Prabhupada said, you can be a devotee of Krishna in your next life, and if you chant this Hare Krishna mantra. So when people suffer, they don't ask why they suffer. When we don't have relation, when we don't have the identity, and when we don't have the remembrance, oh, I'm supposed to serve the Lord, we are in distress. Anything of this world actually gives distress. Either wealth, or sense gratification, or relations, or welfare activity, anything we do in this world, it creates distress. Arthasya sadhane siddhe utkarshe rakshane vyaye nashopabhog ayashastra chinta brahmonina. Anything you do with wealth, if you want to acquire it, protect it, increase it, spend it, whatever you do with wealth, four things will come for sure. Ayashas, that is great intense labor. Tras, that is pain. Chinta, anxiety. Bhram, illusion. Sense gratification doesn't give happiness. It gives a temporary relief from pain. Because Krishna says very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, you try to enjoy sense gratification, for sure misery is going to come in some time. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. Dukkha will come for sure. There's no doubt about it. When people they come together to enjoy, it is like just scratching of an itch. Kandu yanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham. It just creates dukkha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes this very, very nicely in his bhajans in Sharanagati. And people, they try to enjoy in this world. They think that they are enjoying. But after their life is gone, then they realize it is all waste. Jada vidya jata maya vaibhava tomara bhajane bhatha moha janmiya anitya samsare jiva ke korayega. People want to acquire the knowledge of this world, mundane education. It is like the glamour of Maya, Mayara Vaibhav. It becomes an impediment in the path of devotional service. It creates attachment for this world. Jiva ke korayega dha. And ultimately, a living entity works so hard like a donkey. As Prabhupada describes, 5 features of this material world: Pavarga, Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma, the Hindi alphabet. Pa is Parishram, intense labor. And when a donkey does intense labor, what comes out of his mouth is sometimes Pa, that is fain, foam. Pa, Pa. And when one works in this world, one gets attached to the results of the work. One gets attached to the family. That is Bandhan, Ba, Pa, Pa, Ba. And then there is Bhay, that, oh, all this I have will be taken away. That is Bhay. And ultimately, Ma, that is Mrityu. Moha janmiya nitya samsare jiva ke karayega. One works like a donkey. Sahi gadha hoye samsare ra bojha bahinu aneka kala. And taking this big load of material education, whole life I have just worked hard. Aneka kala. Many, many years have passed by and now I have become old. वार्धक्याय को नाम शक्तिर भावे किच्छु nahi lage bhalo. And now I have become old, no energy. I don't like anything now. Shaktira bhave kichu nahi lage bhalo. As it is said very interestingly, when a person is teenager, lots of energy, lots of time, no money. When a person is working, lots of energy, lots of money, no time. And one becomes old, lots of money, lots of time, no energy. वार्धक्याय को ना शक्तिरा भावे किछु नाहि लागे भालो जीवन यातना हृदय को ना से विद्या विद्या भेलो जीवन yatana. Now life has become an agony. Jivana yatana hoilo apana. Now all this knowledge, it is waste. And this education is like a piercing shaft in my heart. So that's the condition of people in this world. Keep on working hard, trying to enjoy, but the problem is time passes by. One becomes covered with old age, disease, anxieties. Pidaya stira, chintaya jwarita. Pidaya stira, great pains, great anxiety. That is the situation of people in this world. Because they don't forget, they don't remember, they don't understand this one fact that Krishna is supreme controller. We are supposed to serve him. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina. Kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. The desire to enjoy in this world is so very powerful. One forgets this basic fundamental principle that Krishna is the enjoyer. We are supposed to serve him, and in that way we can enjoy more. Otherwise, what we are living is like a daydream. As Bhagavatam describes, Shukdev Maitreya says, when people think that they are getting disturbed, they are in pain, actually the condition of a living entity is like a person who is dreaming and who is seeing his head being cut off. How can one see his head being cut off? That happens only in dream. We've all seen, sometimes somebody shouts in sleep, starts crying in sleep. In our temple, in Radha Gopinath temple, some devotees, they, sleep in temple hall in their mosquito nets. And sometimes we hear some devotee shouting in the middle of the night. Some devotees, throwing his legs because he's chased by a tiger. He's shouting. And everybody else gets up and just look at this and devotee, and they are laughing. What is he doing? What is happening with him? But the pain which that devotee is going through, the distress is real for that devotee. Till the time a living entity is sleeping, the distress is real. The dream is real for that person. There's only one way to relieve that living entity, that person, of that distress. Just wake him up. Jiva jago, Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra Bodhi. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come and he's telling, wake up, O sleeping souls. But material energy is so very cunning. She never allows the living entities to get up. So that is how it is so very thick, intense illusion. And then the living entity keeps suffering in this world. Whatever one does, if this illusion is not dispelled, that Krishna is the controller, I am not controller, I am not enjoyer, this misidentification that I can enjoy, That's the cause of suffering in this world. But when this living entity comes in touch with devotees, that's where their good fortune begins. Nitya Baddha Krishna Ite Nitya Bahirmukha Nitya Samsara Bhunje Nara Kadi Dukkha. Living entities suffering in this world since time immemorial. Nitya Baddha Krishna Ite, we have turned our face away from Krishna. We are suffering in this world. Sei doshe maya pishachi dandakore tare adhyatmika ditapatre tare jari mare. Because of this desire to enjoy separately from Krishna, we suffer in this world. We are beaten by Maya Devi. Kama krodhera dasahiya taralati khai. We are kicked by material energy. Bhramite bhramite yadi sadhu vaidyapai. By some good fortune, living entity gets a sadhu vaidya. Sadhu vaidya means a devotee physician. Prabhupada would tell many times that people in the past and now also in some places in India, people have this art of curing a person of snake bite just by chanting mantras. When a living entity who is bitten by material illusion comes in touch with a devotee physician, sadhu vaidya, then what happens? Tara upadesha mantre pishachi palai. Krishna bhakti pai tabe Krishna nikate. Upadesh mantra. The devotee gives that Upadesh mantra, the instructions of devotional service. And that takes a devotee out, that takes the living entity out of this bondage of birth and death. A living entity in this material world is running because he's chased by a time factor. It's like a person who is running in the forest because he's chased by an elephant, falls down in a well because he doesn't see that. Living entities fallen in this deep, dark well of material existence, and in this deep, dark well, there is no water. There are snakes. Where are these snakes coming from in this well? Is a beautiful verse which describes Manasija Panijushte Labda Pathosmi Dushte Emiragana Rupe Hanta Sansara Kupe Ajita Nikhila Raksha Hetu Sansara Daksha Upanaya Mama Haste Bhakti Rajju Namaste. Manasija, that which takes birth from the mind. What takes birth from the mind? The desires. So this devotee is offering prayer to the Lord. Oh my Lord, I am in this deep dark well of material existence. I am bitten by the snake of desires which arise from my mind. And in this dark well, there is intense darkness in this well. Timiragahana rupe, hanta sansara kupe. In this ocean, in this well of material existence, there is intense darkness. Oh my Lord, you are Ajita, you are unconquerable one. In this incarnation, the Lord appears as Ajita. The Lord is unconquerable. Ajita Nikhila Raksha, Hetu Sansara Daksha. Oh my Lord, you are expert in protecting your devotees. Nobody can defeat you in that. Please take me out of this well of material existence. If a person is fallen in the well, what is the way to take that person out? Just throw a rope. And this person has to catch that rope. What is that rope? Upanaya Mama Haste, Bhakti Rajju Namaste. The rope of devotional service is given to us. You have to catch hold of that rope very tightly. One time, a devotee asked Prabhupada, please give me your mercy so that I can follow your instructions. Prabhupada said, my mercy is that I have given you instructions. Now you have to follow it. If a person is fallen in the well and a rope is given, he cannot say, let my fingers curl around the rope. He has to do it himself. We have to catch hold of the rope of devotion very tightly. Nobody will do it for us. It is our responsibility to catch hold of that rope very tightly. That is our lifeline. Just like a person who is drowning in the ocean, a rope, when it is given, that rope is a lifeline. We have to catch hold of that rope very tightly. That means we have to practice intense devotional service, beginning with sincere chanting, attentive chanting, serving the Lord, serving the devotees in a right mood, right attitude. Otherwise, it will be difficult. Prabhupada writes a very strong purport in first canto, 15th chapter, 50th verse. If somebody can share that. 1:15:50. This is a very, very important purport which emphasizes how it is every individual's responsibility to become very strong in the practice of devotional service. It is not because, just I am in association of devotees, okay, I'll definitely become purified. We have to take that endeavor. This is a section where all the Pandavas, they understood that Krishna has left this world. Yudhishthira Maharaj, without taking guidance and doing conference, he just departs. After Yudhishthira, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, no discussions. Individually, they take that decision that I want to go. I have to leave. Nobody even asked Draupadi. Nobody asked Subhadra. They all took individual decisions. Prabhupada writes a very interesting purport there. He gives the example of an airplane. He says, when one is flying in the air, in the sky, and just go down, Mataji. The purport is very, very powerful. Yes. So Prabhupada writes, when flying an airplane, one cannot take care of other planes. Everyone has to take care of his own plane. And if there is any danger, no other plane can help another in that condition. Every plane is independent. Once in air, nobody can do anything. Just recently, it was a great disastrous air crash. Once you are in the air, nobody can help you. Similarly, at the end of life, when one has to go back home, back to garden, everyone has to take care of himself without help rendered by another. This help is, however, offered on the ground before flying in space. Similarly, very important statement. The spiritual master, the father, the mother, relatives, husband, and others can all render help during one's lifetime. But while crossing the sea, one has to take care of himself and utilize the instructions formally received. Very, very important. It is everyone's responsibility to catch hold of that rope of devotion very tightly. In association of devotees, we will get inspiration. Seeing other devotees practicing intense devotional service, we will get inspiration. But we have to practice it. Just by getting inspiration, it will not solve the problem. We have to start applying it in our life. Then we will experience transformation. Otherwise, just hearing Just associating with devotees and having a good time, eating prasad and hearing some good lectures, and that's all great. But what are we applying out of it? That is more important. That decides our, destiny. That decides whether I will come out of this well or will stay in the well. So living entities, they suffer distress because they want to enjoy this world. They have this misidentification that I am the enjoyer. And after living entities come in touch with association of devotees, become practicing sadhakas, still they suffer. Why they suffer? Sometimes the devotee suffers because he is not able to follow the principles. I think you can stop this slide sharing. Sometimes devotees are not able to follow the principles, they suffer. Sometimes we are not able to come up to our expectations in devotional service. Everybody has some expectations that I want to practice bhakti like this, but we are not able to follow because of our conditionings, because of our anarthas. We are troubled by anarthas. Sometimes we are troubled by too much seva. All these things trouble a devotee. A devotee, a sadhaka, goes through various stages in their practice of bhajan. Our bhajan kriya currently is at the stage of anishtita bhajan, unsteady devotional service. And there are some characteristics of unsteady devotional service. The first characteristic of this unsteady devotional service is ghanatarala. First is utsahamai. Utsahamai means sudden enthusiasm. And this happens typically in new devotees. They are suddenly very enthusiastic. Prabhuji, you tell me whatever service I will do. I will do any time. Sudden enthusiasm. And sometimes they're not to be seen only. Where is that devotee gone? And they go through the sine wave, sometimes up, sometimes down. They take to bhakti so enthusiastically because they think, oh, devotional service is so wonderful because I am doing it. It is not about devotional service, it is about me. Utsahmi. Then after a few years of practicing, some purification happens, they go to the next stage. Ghanatarala. Ghanatarala means sometimes very enthusiastic, sometimes lethargic. Sometimes one becomes very, very enthusiastic in chanting, seva, studying scriptures. And sometimes he thinks, okay, theek hai, we'll do that, aram se, why so hurry? That is Ghanatarla. Then after a few years of practicing, they come to the third stage. Vyudha Vikalpa. Vyudha Vikalpa means, how should I practice my bhakti? Should I convert my house into temple? Or should I enjoy first completely and then completely dedicate my life? Or what should I do now? My parents are old, should take care of them first? Should I become stable in my job first? Or should I focus on my bhakti first? All these confusions are there in the mind of this devotee. Always vacillating, not able to take decisions in life. After some years of practicing, he now is stable devotee. He understands where he can practice bhakti in a best way. Where should I stay? Which job should I take? Which ashram should I take? All these things, all these confusions. Now, the fourth stage, it is a very, very intense stage. That is called as Vishaya Sangar. Vishaya Sangar means there is an internal tug of war which arises because of sense enjoyment. Of course, all these stages are there always, but some beginning stages, they are prominent when one starts practicing devotional service. Vishaya Sangar means this devotee, he knows I don't have to engage in sense gratification, but he's pushed by his anarthas, pushed by his conditionings to engage in sense gratification. And after he falls prey to sense enjoyment, he rebukes himself. He becomes remorseful. Why did I do that? Why am I so lusty, angry, greedy? I'm so fallen. Sometimes he wins over, sometimes he is defeated. So this devotee, he is frustrated many times in his attempts to practice steady devotional service because of his sense gratification, the conditionings. At this stage, one really suffers. This is a very, very frustrating phase for a practicing devotee. Because we want to practice bhakti with steadiness, but we can't practice it because of our conditionings. And at this stage, one becomes really upset with himself. Sometimes we start condemning ourselves. Why I'm so foolish? This is a very, very important thing to understand. This guilty consciousness which a devotee goes through, it is good if it makes one more enthusiastic to practice devotional service. But if that guilty consciousness makes us more depressed, that means it is Maya. It is the action of Maya Devi. Maya Devi is another very, very powerful weapon. Is she'll make us, so much guilty conscious that we'll start thinking we are good for nothing. This bhakti is not for me. After many years of practicing devotional service, he starts thinking, wow, now my anarthas are going down. I am becoming purified, it seems. And for sure, in some time, I'll be purified of all these. One of the very senior devotees in our temple, he was telling that when the anarthas are not troubling you, don't think they are gone. They are in hiding. And at the least expected moment, they will pop up. And the devotee will be bewildered. What is happening? There's a wonderful thing which happens in the story of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, when he's fighting with Yakshas because his brother Uttam was killed by one Yaksha, he's killing all the Yakshas rampantly. At one point of time, all the Yakshas, they ran away. But Dhruva, he was a very intelligent devotee. He understood no one knows the plans of Yakshas. That should be our consciousness. When the anarthas are gone, it's apparently gone. We should not feel, oh, now I am victorious. No one knows the plans of Maya Devi. What happened? In some time, Dhruva, he started seeing intense illusions. In the sky, he started seeing the showers of mountains. Huge stones are falling from the sky. Sky is filled with dark clouds showering pus, blood, mucus, stool, urine, bones. Big, big snakes are throwing fire from their mouths. Elephants, lions, ferocious animals coming to devour him. Dhruva is completely bewildered. But in that situation, what a devotee should do when we are suddenly, it is happening all suddenly. So we also go through this sudden, setbacks in our life. And suddenly we are overcome by the illusion, by our anarthas, the things which we have never thought, never seen, never heard. They start coming in our mind, and the devotee is thinking, what is happening? Devotee association is our savior. We should all have some devotees, sincere, mature devotees, who are always there to help us. When Dhruva is going through all these confusions, bewilderment, the sages in Siddhaloka, they are seeing all this. And they come and they are helping Dhruva. Auttana pada bhagavan savasaranga dhanava deva shnotyavanataarti haro vipakshan yannamadheyam abhidhaya shamya chatha loko vanjasa tarati tustaramanga mrityum. He says, O Uttanpad, O son of Uttanpad, please remember Supreme Lord, who is carrier of Saranga bow. Arey, just by chanting the names of the Lord, one can cross over this ocean of material existence. What is this illusion? So association of devotees is very, very important. When we are in distress, when our mind is covered with illusion, when our mind is really making us crazy, take shelter of devotees. They can show us the right path. When we start churning, as in this chapter, Samudra Manthan is going to happen. What is the first thing which comes out of Samudra Manthan? That is poison, halahal, vish. And we should never ever try to handle that poison ourselves. As we are churning our heart by the chanting of this mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, the first thing which will come out is the poison of our anarthas. Don't try to handle it. We cannot handle. We will die if we try to see our own anarthas. If we try to manage our own anarthas, we can't negotiate with our mind. We can't reason with our mind. We have to just neglect it and take shelter of devotees. Chaitanya Charanpur says, better to look stupid than to act stupid. Because after spending years in Krishna consciousness, when these things they come up, a devotee thinks, how can I go and tell some other devotee I am going through all these problems? What will they think? Better to look stupid. Otherwise, if we try to handle it ourselves, we'll act in stupid ways. Depend on devotees. Jnanavalambaka kechit karma avalambaka vayam tu haridasanam padatrana avalambaka. Some depend on jnana, some depend on karma. We depend on the footwear of devotees, padatrana. So this is a very, very important thing. Vishaya Sangar. Just become very strong in the practice of bhakti, intensely praying, chanting, and depending on the mercy of the devotees. We may fall down. No doubt we will fall down many times, but ultimately we will win. Bhadyamanopi madbhakto vishayer jitendriyaha praya pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayer nabhibhuyate. Krishna says, my devotee, he may lose many battles with sense gratification, but he will win the war for sure. Tathanate madhavatava kvachit drashyanti margat vaibadda saurida tvaya bhigupta vicharena nirbhaya vinayikani kapamodasu Prabhu. The demigods are praying to the Lord who is in the womb of Mother Devaki. They are telling, oh my Lord, Mayavadis, they fall down of the highest destination. Oh, Krishna will say, my devotees also fall down. No, my Lord, there is a difference in falling down of your devotee and falling down of Mayavadis or impersonalists. Prashyanti margat vaibadda saurida, because they are attached to your lotus feet. We may fall down many times, but we have to catch hold of the principles of bhakti very strongly. Toy baddha saurida. Toya abhigupta. They are protected by you, O my Lord. Krishna protects his devotees' consciousness. Vicharena nirbhaya. They fearlessly walk over this intense illusion of material world. So that is the wonderful, hopeful path of devotional service. We may be going through distress because of our anarthas, but that distress is purifying us. That service is purifying us. Tomara sevaya dukkha ejata seyoto parama sukha. Seva sukha dukkha parama sampada nashaye avidya dukkha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, "Oh my Lord, the pains I am going through in your service, they are my greatest treasure. Parama sukha, that is the source of my greatest pleasure, because that removes the distress of ignorance." So that is what I wanted to discuss today. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions, you can please ask.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very wonderful class. Very nicely explained how we are going through so many stages, but at some stage we are very enthusiastic. We'll say that we'll do anything, and then slowly come to the maturity, balance. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for taking us through these stages. I request devotees, Manjari Leela Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for allowing me to ask a question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Gaur and Shri Gauranga. Prabhuji, wonderful class as always. I have two questions actually, just for from your lecture. So there's one question you said, there's this pa in the material life. There's pa, fa, ba, pa, ma. So that's like the you're enduring so hard, and then the fiend comes, and then there is bandhan, bondage, then fear, and then mrityu. So can you explain again, just what are all these things for, or how, what was the representation of these? Is it just people in material life, or?
Yeah. So these are the qualities of this material world. Pavarga. This material world is the place of 5 things. This world is called as Pavarga. And from this world, we have to go to spiritual world, which is called as Apavarga. This is a very common word we have heard many times. Yes. Apavarga. Apavarga Vardhamani. We have to go to Apavarga. So where these 5 things are not there. So this material world is characterized by these 5 things, whatever one may do. Because the bondage is so strong and powerful that these 5 things, they come by default. When we are attached to the body, to the relatives, to our society, anything we do, these 5 things will come. So the whole process of spiritual life, devotional life specifically, it is to bring one out of these 5 things. Parishram, Fain, Bandhana, Bhaya, and Mrityu. A devotee may die, but the devotee doesn't die like others. For a non-devotee, death is like a very scary thing. It is like cat carrying the rat in her mouth. But for a devotee, it is like cat carrying the kitten. So all these things, the devotees, they experience in a different way. The devotees do parishram, but they do parishram for Krishna. Their parishram purifies them. And of course, they never go through, a pure devotee never goes through Fena, Bandhana, Bhaya. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purushe bhakti utpadyate pumsam shoka moha bhaya apaha. When we start practicing this devotional service, hearing chanting, lamentation, illusion, and fear, they don't come in the life of a devotee. So that's how we can understand these 5 things.
Got it. Okay. That's very clarifying. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. My other question was that the stages that the devotees or who I wanted to ask you, like, who goes through these stages? You said first was, there's the enthusiasm. There's like just so much enthusiasm, and then there is Ghanatarala. Then you get confused. Can you just repeat? What are those
There are
stages?
two more stages which I didn't tell. First was Utsahamai, sudden enthusiasm. Second is Ghanatarala, sudden enthusiasm and lethargy. Then sometimes enthusiastic, sometimes lethargic. Then third is Vyuda Vikalpa, confused about taking some decisions in life. Fourth is Vishaya Sangar. Vishaya Sangar means attachment to sense enjoyment. Fifth is Niyamakshama. Niyamakshama means now this devotee is a little stable. Here, the desire for sense gratification, the attachment is now gone down. Now he wants to increase his practice of devotional service. All of us have experienced this. I want to increase my standard of bhakti. I want to chant early in the morning. I want to read every day. I want to increase my chanting quality, quantity, but we are not able to do so. Or we do for a few days, then again go down. That is called a Niyamakshama. And after a few more years, one becomes now a little more stable in the practice of bhakti. Now the devotee community knows that, oh, this devotee is such a wonderful devotee, such a great inspiration. Then what happens? Then comes respect, fame, prestige, adoration, extension. That is the 6th wave. That is called as Taranga Rangini. So all these 6 things, they are there always. It is not that they come step by step. They are there always. But as the years progress, we progress in the bhakti. The first few things, they become little lesser and lesser and lesser. Taranga Rangini becomes more powerful because now we are steady devotees. Niyamakshama, that becomes more prominent. I want to increase my bhakti. But now everybody goes through these things. Sometimes very enthusiastic, sometimes lethargic. So they are always there. It is not that they are happening one after another in succession.
Okay.
They are there always, but the proportion may vary.
I see. Okay. All right. That is very clarifying. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your association. Please give us your association more and more. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Devotees, I request if you have any questions. Yes, Hemangi Gopeshwari Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful class, and please accept my humble obeisances. I just wanted to understand that when we're chanting, even if we're sitting in one place, within a secluded place trying to chant, still the mind is wandering. But this is not Maya, right? This is more, it's our own contamination, which is not allowing us to concentrate on the holy name.
Okay. This is actually, see, our mind is already contaminated by illusion. That illusion which we are talking about is the Maya only. Because we have acquired these contaminations not just in this life. Mind is carrying the impression since millions of lives. We are there in this material world and under the influence of material illusion, that is Maya. So when the mind wanders, that means it is under the influence of Maya. So distracted mind, distracted senses, that means we are still under the influence of Mahamaya. Our mind is captivated by the glamour of this world, not focusing on the holy names. So that is inattentive mind means the mind is under the influence of the illusion of the world, going here and there. So that is there. We have to understand that. In the process of devotional service, we have to consciously train our mind. That's why when we sit to chant, after a whole day of hard work or running around, when we sit in the morning, it will not happen that suddenly the mind will come back. We have to prepare our mind, prepare ourselves for chanting. That's why some devotees, they have this habit of praying to the Lord before starting chanting. They pray to holy name. They pray to Mahaprabhu. They chant some mantras. They chant some verses glorifying the holy names. They read something glorifying the holy names. So that we are aware now, conscious that now, just like some affirmations we should do. Now I am going to do the most important activity of my day. Now that's how we are reminding ourselves. We are bringing ourselves to chanting. So we have to pray to the mind. We have to tell the mind, this will help you. We have to pray to the ears. There's a whole set of prayers in Govinda Damodar Madhava, where Bilamangal Thakur says he's praying to tongue, he's praying to the ears. Jihve pibasva mritameta deva Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Oh my tongue, please chant. Oh my ears, please hear. So it is a preparation we have to make. It is not that suddenly you sit and you start chanting. No, we have to prepare ourselves. Anything we do, first there is a preparation. If you want to cook, there is a preparation. Anything we do. So similarly, when we are chanting, it's a preparation we have to make before that. Prepare our mind, prepare our tongue to chant, ears to hear. So then there are some chances that we will be attentive. Otherwise, illusion is very powerful. Our mind is anyways distracted. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful answer. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji. Now I request Purna Prakash Gaur Prabhu, please, you can please ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, the class was so nice. Even each word, each slokas you are explaining, Prabhuji, it was really I lost in your class, Prabhuji. I was hearing your classes in Japa class, in here only, but today I was lost myself. So, this 1 hour class actually I need to have, repeatedly need to go through if it is recordings there. And I was writing actually. I was not writing actually initially, but after hearing in between I started writing. So really it was so much. I was really ecstatic. I don't know. I wanted to hear more and more and from your side. From your lectures. It was very good, Prabhuji. So I have actually Hemangi Mataji already asked my question, but still I have one more question. It's not a question. Actually, I missed writing few things. So you told about we need to have everyone has to go through all these 4 things, which is pain and illusion, and other 2 things I forgot, Prabhuji. So would you say the other 2 things? Illusion, pain, and 4 things you told, Prabhuji. So,
in that 6 stages of Anishchita Bhajan that you are asking about?
Yeah.
So first is Utsahamai, then Ghanatarala, then Vyudha Vikalpa, the confusions. 4th is Vishaya Sangar, attachment to sense gratification. 5th is Niyamakshama, when one can't increase the standards of devotional service. And 6th is Tarangarangini, when one becomes a very great devotee, attracting name, fame, distinction So respect. These are the 6 stages of Anishtita Bhajan.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Where do you get all this, Prabhuji? So we need
This is from Madhurya Kadambini, written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now I request Bala Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Appreciate the class very much, Prabhuji. Excuse me. So one question I have, Prabhupada also mentioned, in when you are chanting, your mind going here and there, chant loud, so that when you hear the mantra, your mind will come back. And also when you're going through some of the anarthas, it's like you're driving through bad neighborhood. So you don't want to stop and look around because you get shot. So you just keep going, you know. So can you explain on that? How do we reconcile that? The stages you have mentioned. If somebody's going through that and don't have access to a senior devotee that they can hear, at least. Sometimes just speaking out loud, somebody hearing itself is a powerful way that it is a therapeutic. It has been proven very well, you know.
Yes, so this the anarthas, when they come up, they are really painful. But if, as you are saying, if there are no devotees around, it is very difficult to accept that there are no devotees around. Even if there are no physical association, we can always be connected to some devotees, you know, virtually, on call, on phone. Otherwise, on our own, we cannot handle, you know, these surge of anarthas. They will devour us. It is very difficult. It is poison. What is inside us is poison. And when it starts coming out, it is really painful. So what we have to do is, we don't have to focus on anarthas. First thing is, we have to accept that this is me. I am not a pure devotee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we make a utopian expectation out of ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I should be purified by now. We have unlimited anarthas. So we should accept that, okay, I'm carrying these impressions since many, many lifetimes. They are coming out. I am not this. I don't aspire for these things. Now they are coming out. Okay, I have to just accept whatever anarthas I have. I have to work on developing my relation with the Lord. And focus on what we can do to advance in the practice of bhakti. Many times we focus on what we can't do.
Yeah.
Focus on our anarthas. We start arguing and discussing with the mind how you are things. How you are speaking like this? How I have all these anarthas? We can't do anything about it. Just neglect them, as Prabhupada would say always. The best way to control the mind is neglect it. The more we start focusing on the names of the Lord, praying to the Lord, prayers are very, very powerful. Praying for guidance, praying for empowerment, praying to see the hand of Lord in our life. How you are working in my life, oh my Lord, I want to see that. These prayers, they are very, very powerful. The more we are prayerful, the more Krishna will reciprocate. Devotee's life is life of prayers. There is no mechanical thing in bhakti. It is not mechanical. It becomes mechanical many times because of our conditionings. But bhakti is not mechanical. It is a matter of heart. So we have to be present. We have to be really honest with ourselves. Accept ourselves as we are and try to go ahead. That's how we will come closer. That's why we will try. That's how we will transcend our anarthas.
Mhm.
Krishna can purify. What we have to do is just approach Krishna. Don't try to see and reason with your mind and anarthas. Focus on Krishna by prayers, by taking shelter of devotees. When devotees they pray, then Krishna listens quickly. So these are some of the things we should do when we are going through these phase of anartha nivritti, which is the biggest phase in the life of a practicing sadhaka. It may go for life or lifetimes, who knows, depending on our intensity of practice.
Mhm.
But we should never give up. Whatever advancement one makes, that is a permanent gain. And Krishna understands this. Jata Shraddho Matkathasu Nirvinna Sarvakarmasu Veda Dukhatmakan Kaman Parityagapyanishwaraha. Krishna says in the 11th canto, my devotee has his faith has risen in my pastimes. Jata Shraddho Matkatha. He has given up sense gratification because sense gratification leads to misery, but still he is not able to give it up completely. Parityago. Then what he does? Tato bhajet mam prita. My devotee should continue worshipping me with faith, with love. This word is very important. Love. Prita. Prita means happily. We should be happy practicing devotional service.
Mhm.
When we focus on our anarthas, we become sad.
Yeah.
We don't have to focus on our anarthas. They'll make us sad. We have to focus on Krishna. We have to focus on what we can do. Prita. We should be happy practicing devotional service. That is what Krishna is telling us to do. Shraddhalu, Dhrida Nishchaya, with faith, with determination, regretting and repenting for our mistakes, but focusing on Krishna. Dukkho Darkamsha Garhayan. Garhayan means a devotee repents. When he does something wrong, he repents. But that repentance brings him closer to Krishna. That repentance doesn't take him to depression or a loop of guilty consciousness. That's how we have to handle our anarthas.
Very nice.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for this very, very wonderful session. Prabhuji, one question, like, is it required to know that what position we are in what stage we are in, or simply focus on doing devotional service in love and tolerate the other things? Or is it required to know which stage we are in?
Not as such. But we should understand that the devotee goes through any of these phases at any part of life. So we should know that, okay, now I am going through this because I have this anartha and everything going on. I am still anishtita, stage of anishtita bhajan. Even if we know or don't know, that doesn't matter. But if one is conscious that, okay, now I am getting this respect, I should be careful. Now I am getting confused about taking decisions. I should go to some devotee and ask what to do. I want to increase my standards of devotional service. I'll associate with somebody who is doing it. So we should know the solution of it. We may not be aware that, okay, this is a part of Anishtita Bhajan, but we should know the solution for sure. And there are some more stages, some more things which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. That we'll discuss some other time. The 5 more stages of this unsteady devotional service. The symptoms. So even if we know or don't know, we should know the solution. Even if we don't know that this is a part of a problem, we should know the solution for sure. That is more important. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There are no questions. We'll stop here. With your obeisances, Prabhuji and all Vaishnavas. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
राधे राधे
Prabhu ji, Hare Krishna.
राधे राधे
हरे कृष्ण
Thank you, Prabhu, for wonderful
Nityananda.
राधे राधे
Hare Krishna.
राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe.
All right, this is
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, should I end the call here?
Yes, Mataji, I'm ending, Mataji.